Good morning and welcome back to another vlog. So Megan and Hattie stayed around last night. We ended up filming an advice video last night, which is why the vlog ended really abruptly last night. But we've just all got ready and we are going to Rushden Lakes today. We're going to get some like breakfast, brunch sort of when we get there. We're not really sure where we want to go yet or what we fancy, but I'm sure we'll find out as soon as we get there. We'll probably be more hungry then as well, and probably just walk around Rushden Lakes for a little bit. And yeah, and Hattie is going later this evening, but we've already planned next time we're meeting now, so woohoo! I hope you've enjoyed seeing Hat again on the vlogs. Yay! Yeah, we're just going Rushden Lakes, aren't we? Just sort of like shopping-ish. Well, not shopping, sort of looking around and eating.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
Yay!
Woohoo! We're in this place called Jamaica Blue. It looks really nice inside. Megan's been here before and she said it was nice, so she recommended. Meg's got a ice latte.
Vanilla.
Ice vanilla latte. And I've
got to ask for like almond milk or whatever.
Yeah, I've got a banana milk shake. And Hat's got a glass of water. No, have you got
No, I actually didn't get. I don't fancy one,
Oh,
so
okay.
I thought I won't waste the
That tastes
Yeah.
so
Oh, your mole looks cute.
Yeah.
I like it. I wish I had loads of moles.
Mum always
On my, I wish I had like loads of.
that's the mold that scares the shit out of me.
I think I've had these. No, but Mum, when I got back from uni, Mum went, "You have."
Yeah, I mean, when do I
I've got one here. Really dark. Well, I thought it was really dark, and it's actually not. Okay, so our food's arrived. Hat's got the full English.
Thank you.
Meg's got a bacon and egg bagel with some hash browns. They look so good.
It was only £1 for two. I thought it was going to be just one.
Wow.
And they're like nice and thick.
And I've got, well, it was supposed to be sourdough, but it's like bloomer bread or something with jam and a little banana bread. Oh, it's like really warm. Oh, it looks lovely. And my banana milkshake. Yay! We're just in House of Fraser, mooching around. Like the photo. Ooh. What is it? Victor and Rolf.
Oh, it's like really sweet. Oh, it's called Bonbon.
No, I like that. I like Victor and Rolf. I have. Is it Flower? No, is that even Victor and Rolf? Yeah, Flower Bomb. I have that. That's nice.
This Chloe one's nice.
Yeah, I like that as well. My favourite of all time is Jimmy Choo Flash. Is that in here? Or Valentino Valentina, if they've got that there. Yeah, that one, but it's not out. Hello. So we've just got back from Rushden Lakes and we did a little bit of shopping. We thought we'd show you what we got. So Hat, do you want to go first?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let you do the diary.
We'll do the diary last.
Yeah. I got a black denim jacket from New Look, and it was $34.99, and I got it for $31 with student discount.
How much was it meant to be? 35?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
for
good.
basically 30, but on Misguided they're like 40.
Yeah, so you take
And I thought, cause I like my white one, but I thought black is nice for winter with leggings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got fringe socks.
Wait, you got them?
Yeah, she got
I
two
got
pairs.
two.
Ah, I thought we went to put them down.
And I went to get another one for my brother for his birthday. And they're funny, they're cute, and they're soft.
Yay.
Do I have anything else?
I got this little dress from Primark. It's really cute. We all thought it would be nice with like white trainers, and one of my friends I've seen wear this. It looks really cute. I haven't tried it on yet, so I could hate it, but cute. And then my favourite nails from Primark are these French manicures that I don't know if the light's making them weird, but they're just basically like ombre, pinky, nudie, nice nails. And then I got two things from the sale on New Look. So I got like this white bag. It's similar to the black one. Yeah, similar to, it was £4. It's similar to one that Megan and Hat picked me out on ASOS when we did that challenge in November. So I got this one for £4. It's just like a white little mini bag that will be nice for nights out, like, you know, with lighter outfits.
Yeah, I like it.
These earrings, because I think they're going to look good with like an autumn jumper.
And that denim jacket.
Yeah, and they're really,
Only £2.
just really crazy, thick, autumn coloured tassel earrings. And then 2 headbands, because I've been wanting to find these for ages. Didn't realise New Look did them, so I've got a yellow one and a red one. Probably look like an absolute ball sack in them, but...
I feel like I look silly in them, but loads of people saying they look nice.
You'll really suit them because you're like dark, thick
and then just
hair.
get like my hair really volume, so it doesn't, I don't look like an egg in them. Hopefully they look nice. And then, Hat, do you want to show the last thing that we all got?
Your university journey starts here. Uni and Me journal.
We all got one each, like literally.
We could try and keep it for second and third year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll fill it up. But there's so many different. I don't know where to start.
If it's focusing, it might. I think it might be like when
That's what I've needed for the whole like
first year. Yeah, like basically a girl called Sophie, I think her name is. She messaged me on Instagram saying she got a uni planner. Saying she got this uni planner in paper chase. I was like, oh my god, I want it so bad. And I thought it was going to be really expensive, but it was only £8, which I think is really affordable. Like,
it's got everything. Instead of having like loads of separate.
Just
When,
showing random.
in first year, I felt like I had loads of separate pads for all different things.
yeah, literally like a budget planner.
Yeah, whereas one
Yeah,
that
sure,
does
budget
everything is
planner.
perfect.
Yeah, it has like
Shopping
actual
list.
decent, like useful, productive like things that you can use, like shopping lists,
We
budget
could put on the
things.
shopping list stuff that we always forget, like stuff
And then
like
funny things like
things
memories.
like-
You can write down your little memories.
Yeah, so it's like a mix
photos
of,
in.
it is like a
Yeah.
scrapbook and it's also like a
It's so good.
planner. It's just so good.
Budget.
I never got a budget
There's
last
so
year,
much.
and that's probably why I
Yeah, neither
fucked
did
up.
I.
That's why I was living off like £1 a day after the
Packing
second
list.
semester.
Yeah, packing list, that is so cute. And there's a bit like introducing my flatmates, you can have everyone's details, like
Yeah.
birthday cards, so
that
you can
was
remember
memorable
sending
first year,
them.
isn't it? We kind of missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But, yeah.
it's still good for like second year as well.
Yeah.
Sports and societies.
So if you want to put photos or...
And like just
Like
details
time
about.
There was like deadlines as well, weren't there? There was like a deadlines page.
Oh, that's good.
Look at that. That was accommodation planning for like next year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just
And
got
we
so
can
many
do
good
that,
things
like, what we
in.
want, what we need for next year and stuff.
I'm well
yeah,
happy
my
with that.
flatmates.
Yay.
But there's loads of different ones. I'm sure we haven't seen them.
But yeah, so if you want to find it, it's in paper chase, and show the front cover just in case people want to slop it and look. But yeah, it's kind of like a crazy...
And it's good that it's got that plastic cover.
Yeah,
so
it's
they
like...
won't get
oh.
all.
It's really nice. It's
Mangled.
good size.
Yeah, and with student discount like uni days, you get it for like £7.20, so I'd highly
Yeah.
recommend. Woo! That's favourite purchase of the day, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And that's what we got at Rushton Lakes. But Hat and Megan are both leaving me soon, so I'm gonna sit here and cry in my bed until I fall asleep. Yeah, oh yeah, and we're gonna book Harry Potter World as well soon. Whoa! Whoa. Dang Flabbit Jackson Rod Stewart. Right, so my friends have just gone home, feeling very sad, but I've just edited yesterday's vlog. I've been very productive, like got on with what I need to do. I still need to do a lot of blogging work, so I'm going to do that after this part of the vlog, but I thought I would end this vlog here because for the rest of the evening I need to get on with some work because I feel like I've been slacking, just because I've been like working on my mental health and everything, and I thought it's time to address what happened on my holiday because I feel like everyone keeps like questioning me. Like, I know some people aren't putting pressure on it, but I feel like some people are like quite like pressuring me to get it out, and I'm not doing it because of that. I just feel like I just want to get it out in the open so people know exactly what's happened. I know there'll be people that are might be very judgy about this. I don't really know, like I don't really know the response I'm gonna get, but I just want to be open and honest and hopefully share this experience, help people in the future, or hopefully make people feel like I'm empathizing, like if anyone else has gone through something similar to this. So God, I can't be asked to cry. If I cry, I'm gonna just edit it out because I don't want any more like videos of me crying right now on here. I can't be bothered. I feel like just people have been quite nasty recently, I don't know. Basically, on our third night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, yeah, it was on the third night we'd stayed in our hotel. We went to bed as normal, We just watched the England game. England actually won. We were in a very good mood, and we decided to get to bed early. We literally were asleep by 11 o'clock, maybe half 11 or something. We both just fell asleep in bed, me and my boyfriend. If you didn't know, we went to Greece for a few days and ended up coming home early, and that's what I'm talking about right now. But yeah, so on our third night, we were supposed to be staying for a week. We fell asleep in bed. I woke up about an hour into my sleep and nudged Aiden on the side. Oh god, I feel really sick talking about it. Okay, before I actually talk about what's going on, I feel like some people think I've made it bigger than it actually is, but I feel like no one will actually put themselves in my position, and no one will be able to see this from the perspective that I did. Like, no one, not even my family, will be able to know what I went through that night, because they weren't there and they couldn't see it and experience what I did. So I feel like, again, there's just gonna be lots of opinions, and that's what I'm uncomfortable about sharing. Like, I'm just scared that people are gonna think that this is just a small issue when it actually really, really affected me. So I tapped my boyfriend to turn the remote, like to get the TV remote so he could turn off the telly, because it was like sort of tucked next to him on the bed. Oh my god, it actually makes me feel sick talking about it. One sec. So basically tapped him on the shoulder, because he was like facing the other way, and I just wanted him to turn the TV off, like, because it was just pissing me off. And he sort of flipped over, and he was mid-sleep. Like, he doesn't remember this part at all. Like, he doesn't remember being conscious. Like, he doesn't remember saying any of the things that he did. He flipped over, clearly like within his nightmare, but with his eyes open. I feel really like weird because no one's in my house right now. I don't know if anyone else is. Maybe I'm just overthinking. So he flipped over and started screaming at me, not like in an aggressive way towards me. He started screaming that I was on fire. He was panicking. His eyes were like bloodshot, bright-eyed. He was in panic mode, like, and I've never seen my boyfriend like that, because as like cringy as it sounds, like, he's always someone that I feel like protects me, like, that is stronger like mentally than me, so I always like confide in him if I'm feeling upset or if I'm having a panic attack. I just feel safe with him. And that moment I did not feel safe, and like, no one would have felt safe. I was in a foreign country. I literally so far away from home. No one really spoke English. Obviously there's people around me that did speak English because it was like a resort, but I just didn't feel safe. I couldn't escape from the situation. I was just in a room, and if you watch the vlogs, you'll know that our room was quite far away from the actual like hotel reception and everything. So I was just staring, and for about 30 seconds my boyfriend was literally screaming to me, "You're on fire, you're on fire," like in this like really panicked state, like screaming and crying. Like, I've never ever in my life, I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years, I've never seen him in that state, and it was terrifying. And obviously my face was like so scared and shocked, and he was just completely just within his nightmare. We've been reading about it, and from what we can pinpoint, it was a night terror, which are obviously more severe than nightmares, because you actually wake up in the night terror and it's like you're like living this sort of awful nightmare that's going on. I feel like I might do like an informative video on it once I've done some more research and when I feel comfortable to do more research. But he was like having a night terror, and this story just sounds insane, like, because I literally mentioned in one of my vlogs, like, you're never going to guess what it is, because like, who would have thought that this would have happened? And I'm gutted that it did. He was screaming at me, saying that I was on fire, and then he sort of started becoming conscious, and obviously just saw me like sobbing and crying and panicking, and I started to have a panic attack. I felt like I couldn't breathe. It was one of my worst panic attacks that I've ever had. Like, if you didn't know, I've suffered from anxiety, and I've suffered from like depression in the past, but the depression is like gone. Like, I sort of overcome that last year, and I'm still very, very anxious person. So I started having a panic attack. It felt like I was having a heart attack and that I couldn't breathe. It felt like my heart was like stopped but also pulsing so like fast, and I was like sort of like curled up, like can't breathe. And my boyfriend started like cuddling me, so he was like sort of conscious at that point, and he was like cuddling me, and from what he'd like spoken to me afterwards, he basically said that he doesn't remember anything of the fire situation. He doesn't remember it being part of a nightmare or him shouting at me. Like, he doesn't remember it at all. All he remembers is my face looking at him, being terrified and scared of him. And that's what, like, he said hurt him the most, that I was scared of him. So that's why he started getting even more upset, and he was like hugging me, and because he started sobbing again, it was freaking me out. I started getting scared, and then Aiden was still like subconsciously still in this nightmare, and he looked in the mirror. He like sort of like backed away from me, looked in the mirror, and it was honestly, it felt like I was living in like a nightmare. Like, it was just fucking horrible. And it's literally scarred me, like the whole situation scarred me. And he said he was looking in the mirror and he could see like his face distorting, and there was like demons, and it honestly, like, it just makes me feel sick, like, talking about it, because I'm very paranoid about that sort of thing. And things like, especially at night, are very scary. Like when you're in like when it's just dark, it's just a very eerie atmosphere. Like I feel like if that happened during the day, I would have been a bit more calm. Like there would have been lots of like English people surrounding us. Like I could have gone down to the pool and just chilled out for a second. But it was just like the middle of the night. No one was really awake. I ended up then calling Aiden's mum, just to sort of hear like a familiar voice to make me calm down, because I honestly thought I was going to have a heart attack or I was going to faint or something, because I've never felt that like panic. It felt like I was actually in the bloody fire. I was just in sheer panic and terror. Like honestly thought I was going to get killed or something. Like I was that terrified. Then after that, because we were so tired, we could not sleep for the rest of the night. We ended up going down to the hotel lobby, which took a while for us to walk. We were on the phone to like different members of our family because we were both freaked out. We couldn't look at each other in the face because it started bringing back the whole scenario again. Like, because Aiden would get triggered from my shocked, scared face, and he would start crying, and then him crying and breaking down reminded me of him breaking down when I woke him up. And honestly, it was just like this endless cycle, and it was just not healthy. We literally couldn't look at each other. I was like, we're going to need some therapy. I don't really know what's going on. We've never obviously experienced anything like that, and it's none of our faults. Like all I did was wake him up. Like just apparently, from what I spoke to my friends and what I've read about online, there's like a stage that you're in from between 15 minutes and an hour of sleep. There's like this stage that you're in just before you go into a deep sleep, which means that like if you get woken up during that stage, it's very fragile and very sensitive, and it can like trigger things like what happened, like a night terror. Like you can wake up still within your dream or nightmare, and that's exactly what happened. So we went down, a doctor actually came, sorted Aiden out. Aiden was actually already suffering that day, like he was very ill throughout the day, which could be another like sign of why he did get this night terror. But he was very, very ill, like just the whole body ill throughout the day. He already suffers like really badly with hay fever as well. So the doctor gave him some tablets for all of these different bits, and he also gave him like not sleeping tablets, but basically sleeping tablets, which is very dangerous, and we didn't really want to get into that. So Aiden did take one, but it didn't really help him relax at all. It was supposed to make him like de-stress and stuff, because both of us were so on edge. We literally couldn't look at each other, and I don't want to get upset because it breaks my heart, but I couldn't look at my boyfriend in the face, and I was just terrified that was going to last forever. We literally stayed awake. The hotel were absolutely wonderful with the whole thing. They let us stay in a separate room for the Sunday night, no, for the same night, like that Saturday night, for the rest of the night, and we just stayed up for the rest of it. I couldn't sleep because I literally was terrified to go to sleep, or for Aiden to go to sleep, because I didn't want him to wake up and have this whole scenario again. And then Sunday night it sort of happened again, but on like a minor scale, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So we went down to the hotel lobby area again, waited there. The doctor told us to go to the hospital. We had to pay 120 euros to go to the hospital and back, and literally when we got into the hospital, they were saying you have to wait here for 5 hours, and by this time we'd already booked a return flight on the Monday evening, and we'd obviously had like a really shit time. We tried to make the most of it on that last day at the Cove. You can see that we're both absolutely knackered in that vlog, like especially me obviously, because you don't really see Aiden much in it, but you can just see my actual lack of energy, lack of life. Like sleep deprivation is probably the worst thing that has ever happened to me. Like I have never felt so on edge, so panicked, so disgusting. Sleep is such an important thing, and I've just realised that just from that whole thing on holiday. And then since we've come home, we slept in separate beds, and I've been terrified to sleep ever since. If you knew, before my holiday, I'd already been getting like nightmares every single night since uni, so I was already terrified to go to sleep, and being terrified to go to sleep is not ideal. Like we need to sleep every day. It's one of the most important things like that we need. So it was worrying me a lot, and then we tried sleeping together in Aiden's bed. We'd sort of like calmed down after having our sleep in separate beds, and not being with each other made us like gain more consciousness, and we weren't as on edge and like alert as we were whilst we were on holiday, because honestly I'd never ever want to feel that again, and I never want anyone to feel that way, because it is absolutely awful, and I don't think anyone, like not even my family, can like empathise, and it's so shit because it makes me feel like this whole thing is stupid. But if someone was there where I was in that position, so vulnerable and so fucking scared, like for all Aiden, like Aiden wasn't conscious when he was screaming at me that I was on fire, and when that's going on for 30 seconds, that is not nice. Like I was in sheer panic mode, like for all, I don't know, it just makes, and just no one can, it just pisses me off that no one I know can empathise. Like I know, like my dad said he's had night terrors before, but they've never been directed at someone. Like the fact that Aiden was directing it at me would have made me scared. Like if he was shouting at the curtain, I still would have been a bit like, fucking hell, that's so weird, but I wouldn't have been so worried. But because his panicked face was looking at me and staring into me, like it was just the worst, and the fact that he can't remember it is also terrifying too. So yeah, so we had a separate night away, and then we ended up sleeping at Aiden's, and we were absolutely fine that night. And then we slept at mine the following evening, and it started happening again. I started getting panicked. I started like looking over at Aiden when he fell asleep and tapping him, and just, I didn't want him to fall asleep before me. It was just a really, really weird scenario. And then my telly was on, and someone started crying on the telly, and it started setting me off again. It felt like I was reliving the moment, and it just was not nice. So yeah, again, I was very, very panicked, and it's time to see the doctor now because this is getting ridiculous. I didn't know what to do. So I went to see the doctors. Aiden came with me. He helped me explain the scenario to the doctor. The doctor was absolutely lovely. I was very worried because, you know, you can get like a bad reception with some doctors and people who don't understand or don't empathise. And it was literally deteriorating my mental health so badly. Like I was terrified to go to sleep. I was terrified to look at my boyfriend. I didn't want him to fall asleep before me. Everything was just a massive mess. So I ended up getting 2 lots of pills. One set of pills I take half before I go to sleep, which helps me like de-stress. And then I have basically tablets to take when I have panic attacks, or if I feel like I'm going to have a panic attack that day, I'll take the tablets. Or if I'm just in a scenario where I feel like a panic attack could occur, I can take the tablets because it's sort of like an anti-adrenaline sort of thing that's in there. They're called beta blockers if anyone's interested, and they help me, my body sort of slow down so that my rate of panic is not so like crazy if I do feel uncomfortable and like an attack's gonna come. And then the last thing that the doctor suggested is CBT, which is cognitive behaviour therapy. I know people in my life that have actually had this, and it's been very beneficial for, so I'm very excited to get started. Just, I say very excited, I am glad that there's this opportunity where I can talk to someone and like break down what's going on in my head, because I honestly do not know. I can't put a finger on what to do to stop it from happening, and it's just awful when it's in your head. Like it's so draining, and I don't know how people who have this constantly deal with it. Like I obviously have anxiety, like to quite a bad extent, but people who have this every day, I literally feel so awful for you, because it makes me feel like going to bed makes me feel uncomfortable if I'm on my own, or even if I'm with someone now. Like I used to, when I had my nightmares, if I slept with someone else, then I wouldn't have them. But now I've got that whole fear of someone else sleeping next to me and having this night terror thing is just a massive issue. And I'd comment down below if you have ever had a night terror. I've had some when I was younger. Like I had awful night terrors where people would be at the end of my bed, or where like inanimate objects were like screaming at me and I was screaming at them back in my sleep, like in my sleep but consciously. But nothing to the extent that I've experienced on that holiday. Like if you think about it, it must have been serious for me and my boyfriend to fly home. So I hope people can realise that and don't jump on the whole, oh that's such a stupid thing. Like I hate people who don't understand mental health or empathise with it. Like I understand not everyone will go through mental health issues, and I do really want to like voice mine a lot more on my channel, because loads of people go through mental health issues and they go through so much that some people even take their own lives. And it makes me feel sad that people can't talk to others about it, basically, like even their close family members. I'm a very open person, so as you can probably tell, like I'm sharing this whole story on the internet forever, so everyone can know. And I do feel vulnerable doing it, to be honest, because mental health is such a touchy subject and not everyone believes that it's a real thing, which is absolutely baffling, because I don't understand how people don't think it exists when there are people out there taking their own lives because their head is just spiraling and they don't know why they feel so sad, so depressed, when they've got things that are happy around them in their lives. Like people who have like boyfriends, who have families that are supportive, still take their own lives because they don't feel like they can openly share things, because there's still a stigma around mental health. And it just breaks my heart that it's not something that we're open about, and I'm not saying it's easy to be open about, because I know it is very difficult. Like even me sitting here being open about it, it's very difficult, and I know it will be when I upload this. When I upload this video, I'm going to be terrified because people jump on shit and just start shouting at me, or just, I don't know. I just am nervous to upload this, but I just wanted to share this story, and hopefully if any of you get this situation in the future, you'll know how to sort of like calm it down. Like when I've researched into this, apparently the best thing to do in these scenarios is to say everyone's okay, everything's fine. If anyone is panicking at you, or just a situation like that they're imagining, like in their dream, you're supposed to don't say calm down, or you're just in a dream, because apparently that makes everything worse and it makes them panic a lot more. That's my story from holiday and why I returned home. I hope you don't think I'm stupid and that you can feel for me. I really hope you can, because it just makes me, I don't know, it makes me so sad that I had to come home and ruin my holiday. But it was something that we had to do for both of our well-beings. We hadn't slept for something like 50 hours, and that is just so ridiculous. I hope you are happy that I finally shared this story. Thank you very much for watching this vlog. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe down below if you're new. Make sure to message me if you ever feel like your mental health is low and you want someone to talk to who you don't actually know in real life, and someone to just confide in, because I just want to do the best for everyone, and I just want everyone to feel better, or have someone in their life that they feel like they can talk to. And if I'm that someone, I will be so grateful. So please message me if you ever feel low, and I'll be sure to reply like within 24 hours. Thank you very much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you very soon for a brand new vid. Bye.